Hey guys, yes, I'm going to keep going with the Cella. Last couple of times I've used it with a badger brush. Wasn't sorry that I did it because it was a uh, frank shaving gel tipped badger brush that I hadn't used in a long time, and I really turns out to like it even more now. But let us, because I was trying the slurry lather method. The first time I tried it with Cella, it worked well. Then the second time, I just maybe didn't have enough water in my brush or didn't have enough load time. And that's kind of the fault of the soap. This card says 495 is going to be the count of today's shave with the Nacet blade. Right here. We're going to put it in the timeless open comb, 68 gap stainless steel. And of course, Cella is the soap. Semogue Owners Club boar brush with a Taj handle is going to be today's brush. And I'm going to get it back in the water so that we can make sure to start out with a very hydrated brush. Let's get that blade in the razor. With this brush, I discovered this brush was what I was using for a long term during austere August when I discovered the what I'm calling the slurry lather method. Other men who've gone before me who've been shaving, they may just call it the way they do it or the way their grandpa taught them, because it does make very common sense. It makes a lot of sense to do it that way. And because it's fast, and I was super happy with the level of slickness, the quality of the slickness. It was extra special when I was using the Chisel Face Midnight Stag. And so I am trying it with other soap bases, and we're going to give it a third try now with the Cella. And the problem here is that the brush I was using before might be similar to this size, and as you can see, the Cella container, there's not a lot of maneuvering room in there. If I'm bowl lathering, it's not a problem, right? Because I can scrape with a scoop, get a quarter teaspoon out, something like that. This one probably needs just a little bit less than that. Or I could take a fingernail and get some out, smear it in the bottom of a lather bowl, and it doesn't matter if you have a small container. But, I mean, this soap has been around since 1899. And so obviously, for a long time now, guys have been lathering, loading up in the tub. And so I am just kind of playing around doing that. And so we'll see if today, because when the bottom starts getting lower than the sides, there's a tendency for the bristles to go in and all kind of squeeze toward the bottom when you're moving around. And then they don't move across the soap surface much. They just kind of stay in the middle there. Last use, to perhaps combat that, I put the Frank shaving brush in, and this is a finest badger as well, and I twisted like that, and maybe that got more of these side bristles. The center, of course, was digging right in the middle, but maybe they got more of the side bristles, some action. I don't know. So let's try it again, this time with a well-soaked boar brush. That was the one that I know will do a good slurry lather. My face is super well hydrated because I just got out of the shower, and so I am good. 2.5 days of growth is what we're going to be shaving on now. Now I will shake out some of the water, probably not as much as I usually shake out, because with the slurry lather method, part of it is to have a ton of water in the brush. Okay, let's rephrase. Have a good bit of water in the brush. Not a ton, because you do see me shake out quite a bit, usually when I try this method. All right, and this was used a couple days ago, so it's not totally dry as it might be if it hadn't been used for a year or something like that. Let's see, we're going to start when the clock hits 40, because I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to stop. Yeah, the bristles do look like they're moving across the soap more than just staying in the middle, and so that's a good sign. Maybe 20 seconds is all I need to do here. And you could get this down to maybe even 10 seconds if you were to use this soap every day. Not using a bowl today because you don't need it with the slurry lather method. And I'm going to use some of this excess to, even I don't need to pre-wash, but I did that in the shower. But I like the smell, and so this is a good way to get that nice almond smell all up in your face. I'm going to rinse off the container now. And now we will start working the brush on my face. Now, you know it's not going to be wet enough if right away you have kind of a thick lather developing. You need to come at it with a little bit more water in your brush. Now this is coming together quickly, but you can still see it's really quite wet. And see, by not developing and we're going to stop right there, by not developing all the soap into a full-fledged lather, you're now left with a brush that has plenty of, it's got the elements of the future lather passes you're going to need. They're not combined together, and I think that's kind of what the slurry lather method is all about. And because right now, I've got a nice slickness on my face here. If you need to condition your stubble to get a really good shave, I don't think this is a good method for you. You may need to work things in, work that lather on your face for a while. But see, most guys who do a traditional face lather will have a very concentrated brush. They'll start something on their face and it won't look anything like this because it's all pasty and dry. And that's okay because their method has them adding water after this point. And so it's okay that it's pasty. And so that's the part of the face lathering that I'm skipping because I'm starting out with the water on the front end in the brush. And so I don't need to keep going and keep working it in my face and adding water to the brush and working it up. All right, here we go. This one is probably, it feels like the best slurry lather kind of technique, example, demonstration, all those words kind of fit. Feels like it's better than the first two. It started really, really wet. I'm getting some tugging because I'm asking the Nacet to shave 2.5 days of growth. Really could say more like 3 days of growth. Maybe 4 hours shy of 3 days. So yeah, and that's a lot to ask of a blade at this age. Almost 500 uses. But in a way, I'm kind of glad I'm making this mistake and not shaving every day because, you know, you're able to see more stubble on my face, and you can see that even a blade that there's some shavers out there, they would have discarded 490 uses ago. I think I will do a live shave for 500. One of you great viewers asked me about that. If I had something special planned, and to be honest, I haven't planned anything. I just haven't thought that far ahead, and that's a huge milestone. I'm sure there's somebody out there that has gone this far with a blade, but I've never heard of it. If you do like this method, think of the rinses not as rinses, but just as a re-watering of your face. Sure, try to kind of get some of you feel like there's stubble on your face and you want to clean it away, sure, clean it away. But don't think of it as a rinsing because, I mean, why not? Why? Because you've still got a little bit of residual soap on your face. Use it, let it help the next pass to be even better. With almost 3 days of growth, I'm going to do another pass of with the grain. Oh yeah, see, this one has no tugging at all now. I'm able to go nice and fast because I'm getting good feedback on my face. Still holding the razor near the center of gravity. Going fast because I can, because of my experience. If you're a new shaver, don't do that. Take your time. Get the angles and pressure right. And if I just now did not get everything, that's okay. That's what the next pass is for. Now a little splash of water on my face. And with this blade at this age, with the grain passes don't get you very close. You do need those cross grain passes. Now I don't know if a shaver who always does against the grain, if the fact that I don't do that helps me to be able to go so far with a blade, because I got a feeling that's when you really need the blade to work, is when you're doing the against the grain stuff. Now something right now that's going on is, in the past with slurry lather method, I haven't run out of lather like this. So maybe the 20 seconds, needs to be, or did I go 30? No, I did 20. I started at 40 and I stopped at 00. Perhaps that needs to change. So yeah, see, I can feel the slickness on my face here, and it's a nice kind of slickness. And even right now, see, I just shaved over that area. My hand isn't really wet, and it feels a really good residual slickness. So that's Cella does it well, as it turns out, with the slurry lather method, and I'm not surprised. Old soaps like this, I have a feeling I'm just late to the party. I'm just discovering. It's like Columbus. I landed on a continent, there were already people there. I think there are just millions of guys who've gone before me that have used this method. They just didn't have a way to share it with as many people as I can. Share it with their sons and their grandsons. And my face feels terrific. Slick. No irritation at all. I think I will go back to the soap to... what I'm going to do is put a little bit of water in the tub, so that, not to be a bloom or anything, but just so that water can come into my brush as well. And I'm not, as you see, I'm not loading too much on from the soap, because honestly, you don't need that much soap for a pass of lather. Yep, look at that. That's terrific. Oh yeah, that's plenty. That's tons. That's 2 or 3 passes of lather right there. Don't need to go for that long. And that's, you don't need to. You can if you want, right? It's your shave. But this is good news for you value shavers out there who like to really get a lot of mileage out of your soaps. The artisan soap movement that we've had over the last many years now is terrific for a good group of people. But there are other guys who are just trying to squeeze as many shaves as they can out of a soap. And so they don't need to be loading for a minute, It's just not necessary. If you've got the goods to load heavy and you want to, then go for it. All right. But I'm here to say you don't have to if you don't want to or need to. You can kind of see the consistency of my lather, as often it will drip off of my razor during this kind of sideways motion. Oh, not super wet right now. How's it feel? Is it still slick? Oh yeah, that's still terrific. I have a goatee that sometimes feels kind of long, but I actually shave up underneath it. My chin is very protrusive, if I can make up a word. It protrudes a lot, but I I shave right up. There's a crease right almost where a normal guy's chin might be. And I take my razor and go right up to that point. Nice little line that God gave my chin to know where to stop shaving. So I figure I'd use it. And see, look, I get my razor wet, and this area here that I just worked on, I can just hit it again. And if I wanted to take my wet hand, go over my face again, that kind of wakes up the lather that's around. And I can touch up spots, that sort of thing, and give myself no irritation. And that's a nice close shave. So, wow, yeah, Cella, terrific. A great soap if you like a quick method, quick face lathering type method. I mean, we're 15 minutes into things, and that's 4 passes or 5 passes or something like that. And so if you're a normal 3-pass shaver, if I had a normal blade in here, a normal use blade, I would just be a 3-pass shaver and I would have been done 5 minutes ago. All right, let me rinse stuff off here. If I had to face lather with Cella because of speed or practicality or utility, I would definitely be using this method. If I had to do it because of speed. Otherwise, I enjoy the scent and I'd appreciate having it more, and I would use one of my other methods. But this is how I would do if I needed a face lather and I needed it fast. Now I want to take a second to show you a product that's great for you guys with really dry skin. And I don't have really dry skin, but this was recommended to me, Aquavelva Sensitive 5-in-1. And it was recommended to me by a fellow shaver, very reputable in the community, in the Reddit community specifically. Not one of those fly-by-night guys. He's just a solid shaver, has really dry skin. He has to choose his soaps more carefully. His skin is so dry that he needs to get one that has the conditioners and stuff built into it and use a good product after the shave. And so he said this was a terrific option because it's available in so many big box places like Walmart and all that. It's non-burning, all-day moisture, helps prevent bumps, soothes redness, helps fight ingrown hairs. Those are the 5 things, I guess, that give it its name. That part's marketing. I mean, it probably does what it says, but it's the 5-in-1 just kind of comes from 5 good things they say about it. However, it's good stuff. It works really well if you need especially in the wintertime coming up now, if you need that kind of nourishment or you have a shave that's really rough. First, I would advise a cool rinse after the shave, calm down that inflammation. Very soothing, easy, free, available. And then something like this might be a great choice for you. And then what you can do is you can pair this up with a cologne of your choice. The combination of balm and cologne is the kind of splashes that they have out. But this doesn't last as long as a cologne. And that goes across all brands pretty much, not just this particular one. And so if you don't want to have a large stock of balms, just have one that's kind of a generic scent. This scent is kind of minimal. And so it's going to go with anything. Put this on after the shave and then clean up or whatever, and then put on your cologne, and now you got something that's probably going to last for hours. And so that's one good way to go. It's a good value way to go as well because you're spending your money on the cologne that's going to give you the hours of scent that you want instead of having to maybe pair your aftershave splashes with your soaps or just trying to have a few aftershave splashes. Now these do better in the summer and stuff. Sometimes you don't want something heavy like this if you have average type skin in a hot type climate. And so that's where the splashes are going to really come in handy. Or alternatively, what I've got in here is witch hazel. It's the witch hazel solution from Thayer's. And so that's what I bring in sometimes. But in the winter or the non-hot times, or if you just have dry skin, then a balm like this. Sterling's balm is well rated. It's inexpensive, but it does a good job. The balm from Zingari Man is top rated. The balm from Soap Commander, most of them have menthol except for one variant that they have, and that's why I don't really use it a lot. but those have been highly rated for a long time. So those are some options if you have dry skin. But I just wanted to mention this guy because I don't mention it much. All right, but today I do not need the nourishment of the balm. And just a day or two ago was Halloween. And what a good time to put on Samhain, or the actual pronunciation Samhain, which is so funny, right? Because it doesn't look like that at all. And it's a great kind of pumpkin spice type scent, but a lot of other goodies to it as well. And the pumpkin spice part is not dominant. The pumpkin is there, but there's enough of the other stuff around with it. I am anti-pumpkin spice. I generally don't eat pumpkin pie. If it's a really good one with a lot of add-ons on the top, sure, I'll eat it, or I'll eat it to be polite. I don't mind it, but I never seek it out. I don't go for the pumpkin spice drinks at all. And so that's the perspective I'm coming from. Don't be afraid of the pumpkin in this particular product, the soap or I guess any of the products really, because it's in conjunction with other notes that are of the season. And so I definitely enjoy it. This is a couple times that I've had it this time. Yeah, see, they do start off with the pumpkin in the list. Sandalwood, bourbon, and tobacco. Who would have thought that those ingredients would work so well with pumpkin? But they really do. Southern Witchcrafts, a couple of good people run that business. Just good folks. I've met them. And they're really active in the community, really helping people out with information and that sort of thing. They have good value products. They're not... I'm a Christian, and I hesitated at first, but you know what? I contacted them, and they said that Southern Witchcrafts was really more of a decor and a name, and they're not actually like practicing witches and that sort of thing. That was just a choice they made to kind of to have a theme and something with their business, and that was important for me. If I'm going to be putting their products out there, and so I was really happy to learn that. They're good folks, Stephen and Courtney. All right, so the Nacet did a good job today. Going to continue marching on. I will give a couple of days' notice, as much as I can possibly do it, for the 500th shave live shave. I'm going to try to do it maybe in the evening on a weekday is probably when it's going to happen. But just watch my channel. If you want to do that subscribe notification thing, with the bell to show when things come across, you could feel free to do that. I never tell you guys to smash any buttons or whatever the YouTube guys say, right? Because I let my content do the talking. If you like it, you're going to subscribe, right? Or if you like it and you forget to subscribe, maybe a search a few months down the road is going to put my stuff in your feed, and you'll visit anyway. So I put out this library of information, and I just hope it helps people. And it's also fun when a few of you guys join me for a part of the journey, and that's happened a good much. There's a guy named Gabe years ago that we interacted with a lot for a while, and then he went on to other things, and he still chimes back in every once in a while. Talega, for instance, jumped into one of the comment threads a few days ago, and he was more active a while back, and that's great. And I also realize that once you have a good conversation with somebody about certain things, especially about this kind of topic, you have that conversation, and then you don't quite have as much to talk about once you cover a bunch of things. Because after all, I'm just shaving, right? And so there's only so many times you can say, hey, good shave. And I'm so grateful for that. I really am. It really does encourage me. But I also realize that, there's more to life than commenting on my posts and being encouraging. So you guys who watch, I know my friend Buzz likes to watch on a regular basis, and he'll chime in every once in a while. And people like that. Got Alan up in Canada, and Peter out there in South Asia, I think, and other folks. And they chime in every once in a while, maybe when they see a product that they or they have a question or something like that. And it's always fun to have old friends stop by. So yeah, the scent is just around me, and it's delicious. It's almost kind of right between being a gourmand type thing. It's not on the cologne end of the spectrum, and it's not really a gourmand thing, but it is savory. It is something to kind of soak in and enjoy. And if you do want to head it off into a gourmand direction, you could very easily. If you want to go in the kitchen, make yourself some pumpkin muffins or something like that. All right. I believe that's going to be it. I did not track the water because this was a face type lather. I just added water as needed for that maybe fourth pass or fifth pass. I did go back to the tub for a couple of seconds to gather up more water or more soap. I added a little bit more water to the brush as well. And as you saw, it just woke up and there was tons of lather available. The blade did well. The razor continues to work well with this blade to give me a decent shave. Yep, happy with that shave. All right, boys and girls, thank you so much for watching. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. You guys take care. Happy fall. I love the fall season. I'm enjoying a little pipe. I tried Davidoff red mixture in the pipe today for the first time, and I had ordered a sample of Davidoff, maybe the blue and the green, and they didn't really resonate with me as much, but the red has been more enjoyable. And this little short pipe here with a short stem, long shank part here, and I've been enjoying puffing on him for a little bit. And that is it for now. We can tick off on the sheet 495. All the best to you guys. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Bye-bye.